The following program contains views that are not those of WVTC, iNetworks Communications, their subsidiaries, affiliates, or financial supporters.
Winning victory through Christ, WVTC Allsip Chicago, and iNetworks Communication Station.
Hello, everyone. We are live on location because I have a very special treat for you all today. Yeah, you know what it is. This is Testimony Friday. This is your girl, Praise Oasis, Dr. T or Tanya, however you want to call me. I need all my socialites to like, share. I need you to, as I ramble on or whatever you want to say, as we have our memory verse and our prayer, I want you to like and share. Now, I know y'all used to me, focusing in on the praise dance community and liturgical dance and, interviewing those types of backgrounds. But tonight, I feel this was very important that whether or not you want to, have your own dance studio, you want to, be able to be free to do what you love, that is dance, to serve the Lord. You need to be able to feed yourself. So you need to be able to have a plan B, okay? A lot of people, until they can do what they want, they got to do what they need to do. So before we get, we closing out this year, I'm going to have some powerhouse entrepreneurs that inspire me because, again, working a 9 to 5, I'm not here to dog that out, but in the times that we in, it is critical that we collect our coins and we're smart about our investments, and we are making sure that whether we're doing the 9 to 5 or not, I want to be an evangelist to be able to share resources here where if you want to step up to the plate and say, I want to open that dance studio, or I want to go ahead and be able to fund so I can go to the nations, you need what? Financing. So I have the finance guru, and I don't have my tambourine here because, like I say, we live on location, people. Okay. We're not in a basement. We're not in a pandemic. Okay. So before I get started, continue to like and share. Hit the pound sound replay. Okay. And then all of my male socialites. Okay. Y'all don't have to keep scrolling. Okay. I'm not talking about anything related to the arts ministry right now. This will have something for your mother, your grandmother, your father, your sister, your brother, any and everybody, whosoever will. And we just talked about the youth. Even make them watch something. They're on the internet anyway. Let them watch something that is going to be, they might catch on to something that if they incorporate that into their mindset, they won't give these institutions, these college institutions, all their money because they can go into business themselves, or fund their college degree. So, I didn't mean to preach, but I just want to make sure that I encourage as many of you to like and share on your page, okay? And do yourself a favor and just get this information and apply however way you need it to be. Okay, so Father, we just thank you for our special guest today. We thank you that everything that need to be said will be said, and everything that don't need to be said won't be said. We thank you that you're bringing those to be able to, who need to have an ear, because you got people that you have birthed businesses and vision, but they don't even know where to start. So many different demographics, so many backgrounds, God. Only you know who you hand selected that need to get a hold of this information in the gospel community, Father God. We need to be able to have business savvy, God. So I pray that whoever you have put your finger on, that you would let them stumble upon this video and be able to network and to find the information they need so they can carry on your ministry, your business to your glory. In Jesus' name, amen. So our memory, I won't say memory verse, but we always like to start with a verse before we get right into the interview. And today will be Proverbs 13:22. As a man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. And how we're going to do this, people? So that's a great memory verse to function on when you listen to this. This is your why, because you might be well off. I don't know. You might feel like I want to spend everything I got. Okay. But we were here to leave an inheritance just like any other culture or background. And so this is the way we can do this. So like and share. So let me get right into it. Okay. Seated to my left here, I am very excited because he has been on every radio show in the Midwest so much, that I know of. And so he has decided to come on our internet radio show to let us in on what everybody else is able to find out about in their car and their radio. So basically, I will give you a little bit about Mr. Brandon. He's called Mr. Finance, Brandon Mr. Finance. He is a financial advisor, a wealth manager, mentor, coach, motivational speaker, and basically he's the CEO of Access Capital now. Okay, so that's not hard to understand what he do. And basically he's out here near me in the south suburbs, if you're near Richmond Park area, but he has 15 offices across the U.S. And you guys know, wherever you're listening from, you got a phone, you got access to the internet. He definitely can route you to some support. Excuse me. So basically, a little bit of a background is he has had several funding programs and mentorship courses to build systems for real estate that will yield passive income, people. Come on. That's a buzzword. And his motto, as I was reading, and I hope you can fact check me and correct me.
Okay.
As I was reading through the flyer, he said that he wants to help get as many in the position, not to have their boss fire them, but the other way around. Who want to feel that way? You don't want to feel every day like you're going in and could be fired at any time. He's gonna partner with as many as he can to get in front of that. That's his ministry passion. And so he supports first timers from the first timers to set up their businesses, their LLCs, to first time homeowners. He got you all the way up to, those savvy business owners that are established. We got something for you investors too, you real estate agents. Man, I missed that background. Your contractors, your developers, okay? You're talking about some real coins and you're talking about developing process. So he can help with building tax shelters to help protect those your investments. So people, those are buzzwords. Who's not interested in passive income? Okay, who's not interested in tax shelters that the rich of the rich that have a different color skin already know about? Come on here, somebody. I can't hear you out there, but that's okay. I know you're there. And even he's ready to partner with those multi-million-dollar deals with Concept. I heard I saw on the flyer, there's a power of 10. So we'll talk about that later, sure. About that type of partnership. And then currently, what we'll focus on tonight is that he's offering he airs regularly to basically offer two programs. I think it's the Home Buyers Plus. It's a 26-week program, people, and a 12-week mentorship program for building with tax-free capital. Come on. I'm excited just reading it. And a corporation startup support. So that covers any background, in every background that you could possibly have. And how many business owners, they don't really make it after a few, everybody's trying to go at it alone. And why make these detrimental mistakes? So I just want to say thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
And I had to tell the people a little bit about your background just because, I don't even know if half the audience is even aware of tax shelters or things of that nature. Okay. Oh, my computer went out. And so I just really wanted to kind of summarize what you do regularly every week on the radio shows. And so we'll take a deep dive into that. Okay. But I just wanted to say thank you.
Oh, thank you.
For coming out. Because you can't go to a university or a school and pay somebody to get you this information. I got over 6 figures in school debt, and I missed all this training. Right. So come on, people. It's worth learning something that's going to yield a return, and you're not owing on something that you can't even prove that you went to school on. This is like a good program. It seems like that he's put together. So come on, people. Yeah. All right. So thank you again for coming with us tonight. So if you don't mind, if I could jump right in, because I do want to give you a chance to have the floor and give us a blurb about those two programs. Okay. I'd like to cover everything and how you got here, but I mean, the first 5 questions we just want to know about your background, because you are a man of faith. I noticed you talked about you have a component that you have a real heart for this. Yeah. And a lot of people in financial, and this is just me talking now, I don't know if it's true. I don't have statistics. Right. But when you know the money and the numbers, it's like it's easy to probably not care about your fellow brother. But sure. So I know you have to have a foundation in the Lord to want to be bothered. When you have the knowledge, there's no reason you should have to do this for anybody. So when did you find your faith? Let's just start it there. That's what I ask every guest.
When did I get saved?
Yeah, everybody said the same thing. Like, that's 2 different things. Yeah. I'll say for real. Let's just skip 2. Yeah. When you knew that you had a mission and it was more so not you but for the Lord.
Well, I said God had to strike me a couple times.
Got it.
Yeah, backslid, but ultimately I would say 2013, 2014, it was a shifting point in my life. I'll just say it like that, but I would say that's when, I felt like I got to know God. I mean, I've been in church all my life, but that's when I got to know God for myself. Okay. I built a real relationship, and I actually saw God move in my life. So I would say 2013, 2014.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. And so would you like to shout out your church or your pastor? I ask every guest.
Bill Winston.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He about that making sure. I mean, don't he own like a bank? Yeah. I'm not mad at that at all. So you come from a background with that anointing. So let's go into, how did you know that you wanted to become an entrepreneur? Like the abbreviated version.
I've always been that way. My grandfather was very connected in my neighborhood.
Okay.
So everyone loved, they called him Duke, Jim, and so lawn care and snow removal, was something I started doing as a child.
Okay.
And I would get all the jobs because of who my grandfather was. Okay. So I basically started recruiting my friends to come work with me. I would do some jobs, but I would give them the lion's share and I would take a portion. So when we wanted to go to Evergreen Plaza or go to the mall, we all had some money.
Old school, that's old school.
So, on some candy, some chips, so all my friends had, they had some money too. So we could go buy our own gym shoes. We worked for the money. Candy, whatever, So that's when I started. And then my mother decided she was going to do printing when I won't say the name of the company, but everyone supports this company, and she created their marketing, and they fired her.
What?
So unfortunately, I won't say unfortunately, I still patronize this company, and so does she. Because they own all the infrastructure for this. But it let me know that people were expendable. So she started a printing business and didn't want to do that anymore. So I started selling business cards in the bag, $20, 20 cards for $1 at school, and I started making $200-300 a day at school, in high school. So I've always been entrepreneurial. And then when my mother got into real estate, didn't go so well for her. So I had to decide, do I want to take this therapy and go play pro baseball or help my mom? My mom's gonna trump that. So yeah. Then I fell in love with doing financing, and that's pretty much where I am, almost 26 years later.
Wow. So I like to pause. I don't like to just jump around to different questions. That is something to put to just remember. Like we were just talking before the show, how this generation, and we're not judging this generation, but with the video games and all this stuff on the internet, it's easy to get lost. But let your children be involved in, different ways that they can. That's what I'm going to do, is allow my children to be involved in finding a way where they can earn that coin versus, riding on our coattails. Of course, we give them their basic needs, but I was thinking he was going to say, well, I went to this school, but it started as a child and seeing what happened to his mom. So we got to know if we got more outflows than inflows. So I like that. Just put them to work and help them learn that work ethic. Okay, that was for me. I don't know if it was for you, but we wonder what's wrong with the kids today. They really, unless they know how to monetize online, they can just waste hours of their life just doing this. And here it is. That gave him his foundation, doing just anything he could to earn by just doing work that they already doing. So that's pretty much good. So that leads me into, what was it like? Well, I'm making a lot of assumptions here, so you can correct me, because I said, what was it like not having to work for another business? Or did you ever, what was it like before you started your own business and getting established? Or did you have to have that middle ground? Or was you all your life, I'm about to just, because people like to say, oh, I'm a hustler. And then, but if you're not making anything, then you're not a hustler. Like, this is, so I'm just trying to see, did you have a transition, or did you just have that gift for some people can just?
Well, I like money. I was a hustler.
Oh, you were? Okay, see, that's the difference, though.
But, things, they had to change. But, I mean, it was only I'll get to that part another day.
Yeah,
but it wasn't because it's what I wanted to do. I was always making money, but I've just been driven that way to find ways to get what I want, so I'll just say that seeing what my mother did, starting a business, so I saw her take our house, build an office, build an addition, and build an office in the house, and she had an office, go buy $10,000-$20,000 printers and run off printers and buy card stock from different card stock places and make. I grew up in Miami in the faith, so she would make. She would make people's obituaries, people's wedding pamphlets, all kind of things. So I saw her run them off on the printer.
Gotcha.
And I learned the difference between raised lettering, laser print, and different types of what sticks and what bleeds and what runs. And so I watched that, So I watched when she got big jobs and it was good money in it, But I also watched those down periods. So for me, I'm the one that you got to really tell no to.
Okay.
I'm gonna find a way.
I'll go get her.
Yeah. So so it's just like like people look at my life and I tell people sometimes what my monthly expenditures are. They're like, there's no way I can do that. And I said, well, you know what? I'm looking to increase them more. But I'm looking to grow more. Yeah.
Okay, I get it now. Because a lot of people, you in a lane. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a lot of people that say, well, don't quit your day job. Like, I was a person that always had a desire to be an entrepreneur, but because I had the divided interest in the 9 to 5, I would just start and stop. So it's really good that you have a mentorship program, because a lot of people, you do have to tell them, don't quit your day job until you get. And then there's a lot of people that are on this YouTube platform. There are people that may not know anything, and they are selling things that they don't know what they're talking about, because there are people that just don't have it. Yeah. So I don't knock them for selling it, but that's why I bring people on here, so you can hear about their background. He's got a story that impacted him as a childhood, that drove him to not take no for answer as far as just working for some. Did you ever have to work for somebody?
Nowadays at McDonald's.
Yeah, I mean,
but not like a serious job.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you never had to. We're not talking about you. Actually, that's what faith is. You just basically stepped out on faith and knew you was not going to go through what you had. They just, I mean, that impacted me, because for your mom to have that idea with the candy.
Well, she did printing.
What I thought you said the can. I'm sorry.
No. So what I did was when I could shovel somebody's snow or rake their leaves, I would give my friends the lion's share of the money that I got paid from the jobs. I would have them shovel. So if they paid us $15, I would give them 10 of it.
Right.
But so we could all go buy candy and shoes and stuff like that at the malls and stores. But that came from the people in the neighborhood that was the elderly that just want to keep us busy.
Yeah.
So that's
so that worked. But her working for somebody else. Yeah. When that didn't work, I'm sure there's a lot of you out there with that testimony. If at any time somebody could lay us all off, whoever's working for an employer. And so for him to have witnessed that, and then witness, we can actually be our own boss. You know, that's why I felt like this is a great testimony to share, because it can be done. Don't give up on your dream, thinking you waiting for somebody to give you that number on that salary. Gone are the days, and I don't want to discourage. I think education is very important. I took the highest education I could, but it did not. You can't. It's not in that old school where I go and work a job for 40 years and they're going to be loyal, or even the fact that you went and you got this credential. We don't need you. It's the internet. Everybody is doing something that you didn't think of. So that's why I want to make people not so much mad, because I'm in that bucket too. It's just to get us kind of thinking about what is our real gift? What could we do? What is our mission? Apart from being defined from a 9 to 5. So since that's not his story, we're just going to pick his brain a little bit more, because I know that it's a lot of businesses that start and they don't seem to make it. So I want to get into the nitty gritty about your program. Okay. When did you have the vision to help others to build their own business? You know, so we skipping all that. We went through the initial first half of your life and what gave you that drive. Now we understand that. Let's try to skip to, you know, after you went through your transformation with the Lord 2013. Is that when the vision came to kind of say, why do I want to help other people? Because, you know, we rough. People don't like to be told nothing in that finance arena.
Well, it happened in 2013, honestly.
Okay.
I'll just say it's a dark place. I'll just put you that way, you know. But you want to tell you, I'll just tell you. I was in prison.
Okay. Oh, wow. That's a great story for somebody to know they got hope.
My partner called me with money.
Okay.
And, you know, I tell people we lost millions and I had to start over. And
that's a real thing.
And I wasn't a part of what he had going on, but it didn't matter. I was on the company. So, but I was able to keep all my licensure, but I can get that one license back too if I wanted to. But I didn't like the fact that I could be regulated for something that I wasn't a part of.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it was clear and it was written. So, but you know, I've always been a big giver. My mom is the person that wants to save everybody. Like, you know, my mom can retire, but she wants to drive Uber to save the young ladies that are out late at night that have children.
Come on.
So the giving part came from my mom.
That's beautiful.
So, you know, that's where it comes from. So it's just a big heart, you know, and but you know, so I mean, I love to help, you know, and honestly, you know, coming from my previous lifestyle to this one, people a lot of times it's just what we know and we don't know. What we see in it, you know, so I wanted to be, you know, in that place. You know, I created plans to show people how to make six figures. So I said, well, it's gonna be a disruptor to people in the streets. But it ain't about them. It's about getting people together, doing it the right way.
Amen.
And I said, you know, some people not gonna like it, but you know, if I do God's business, you know, I think I'll be okay.
You're gonna look out.
So you know, I just I look at my situation. My company's a top company of influence with most of your major national banks. So chances are, if you're banking at one of the top 11 banks, my company is no lower than number 3 in terms of being top company of influence. So I can push their programs wherever they have a footprint.
Turn that mic up. Y'all catching this? So that's pretty good.
So that's kind of where it started. You know, being in prison, I tell people I saw most people's motivation. Some people had domestic issues, but a lot of times people were there for money issues. They want to shine.
Gotcha.
They want a new pair of shoes. They're tired of being talked about.
Right.
You know, they were forced into a lifestyle because of the neighborhood. They didn't have parent presence, you know, whatever the case may be. And I would just see that it was a lot of times people, you know, a husband lost his job and got kids and the wife don't want to say I lost my job today, but doesn't understand that they have good credit, they can borrow money, hundreds of thousands of dollars in days without proving income. Because that's my strength, no doc financing.
Right.
You know, but you got to have a credit. You know, so and then you can hide the debt from your personal credit because it's business debt. You know, so but that's what motivated me. You know what I mean? So losing millions, but I took 3 years to rebuild my credit. So that I could get back in the 800s and do it my way. So, you know, I ended up having to do Uber for 2.5 of those years. And my biggest check was $490.67 after 12 hours of driving. I said, I'll never do this again. You know, so, but I built my credit up so that way I knew what to do. So, you know, I felt like I could teach people.
Come on. You know, and, that's what this show is about.
So, you know.
Come on.
And initially people didn't like my price because I'm not cheap.
Yeah.
I tell you, I mean, these prices actually, some of those prices have changed, you know, but I still try to be fair to people. I still run specials all the time, but ultimately, I'm gonna teach you how to make money the next day, the same day, if you're someone that's not afraid to talk to people. So and then you learn how to plan your money. People don't realize that you don't make what you make on a job. You make what you make on a job minus taxes, and then you got to survive on that. So I can go help one customer borrow 100,000. I can make 10,000 in 3-4 days. So to me is I'm not about to give you 40 hours of my time. No offense to anyone who works, but when it's kind of hard to see different. But you still got to take those baby steps. You still got to work. You got to work, but have a plan.
Right.
So so this is what I teach people in my mentorships and in my home class, plus how to buy a house in cash. And create your own market. And being in finance in all these years and having warehouse lines with different banks for lending, showed me the other side of the coin on money.
Right.
So, and I felt like, people from the street level, I said, well, y'all ain't got no credit because y'all straw purchasers. Mama, daddy, grandma signed up for y'all. Build your credit, get your credit right for 6 months to 2 years, and then go borrow from a bank, and then you can justify a lifestyle. But that can happen for somebody that's not street level. Anyone can do it. So it's just about understanding what you can do and knowing your power. And people don't know their power. So you can't convince me. I don't care if I'm on the ground. I have no money. I don't care if my credit gets hit. I know how to make money.
Yeah.
So but that's been the move. So you transform a person's life. You find people who can refer you lots of business and make lots of money for referral. So I tell people to create that power of 10. But I broke it down to 5. Find me 5 people who can find 5 clients that can secure $100,000 or $500,000, in transactions per month for 3 months. If you're the person that brought them to me, you'll make 120 grand in 3 months. They'll make 45,000 apiece. And it's that simple. But the job you work treats you the same way. They just give you $10,000 to $15,000 an hour or $60,000 a year. You can't grow. So, and I don't want to be your boss. I only want to teach you how to be a boss.
Oh no! So, can somebody put that in the comments or hit the replay? I don't want to be a boss. I'm gonna teach you how to be a boss. That I could take that and run with it. Okay, we love to tweet that stuff. I'm about to jump and run circles like I do on Sundays. If anybody see me running, it's because I had a revelation. Okay, because this is what it's so much in what he said. He answered about 5 questions in one. Because I was, the cookie cutter question was like, how to access.
Well, that happened in the same place. So I thought about conveniently when people are in prison or when they're up against the wall, when they need money, they need it right now.
Got it.
So that's what Access Capital Day came from. You need the money now, and then so I've been big in network marketing companies, and then what I learned in those companies is that a lot of times, like baby boomers, who are built a lot of things. Yeah, my mom too. And most of them have less than $300 in the bank. Or when the problem breaks down, they don't have $300.
That'll make you mad.
So,
they're going back to work or needing to.
Yeah, and here I am. I can close one loan and make $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. And it takes me 20 days or it takes me 4 or 5 days. So I felt like you got people that's about to retire and they're going to retire to 40% and they couldn't make it on 100% or they would just barely make it, which forces them back to work in 2 to 4 years because inflation always comes. Right now it just happened through the PPP loans and the idle loans, and the Fed got to get their money back.
They are.
And we're looking at it: gas prices, car prices,
right?
Food prices. So people think, oh, it's free money. It's not free money. You're gonna pay for it. Incarceration too. So and having been in that place, I learned that my bed was worth $312,000 a year for me to be in here in slum, horrible conditions. So I never wanted to repeat that. I never wanted to be there in the first place.
You broke it down.
But that's the reality because prisons are money and they're building more prisons. So if you don't get educated, if you don't, learn how to really do things legitimately, you're going to get in trouble. All that PPP money, idle money people got, a lot of it, they filling out tax documents that are fraudulent. You're sending government documents into the government that aren't legit, that they can verify.
Right. Come on, there's so much and so many nuggets in there. It's not even a nugget no more. It's like it's so much wrapped up into. He baked you a cake on everything because I mean the testimony Friday is about just that, beating the odds. I'm not coming here trying to say, you need to get in the program. And I know a lot of people in the faith community want to. It's sometimes if you were raised in an old school church, like, don't try to get too much money, be happy with your little portion, you don't need nothing. We need to break those cycles. Nobody's trying to get nothing from you. He just told you that because it should make you mad. It should make you mad that our parents or people in that age group Some people are living off a meagerly amount.
Yeah.
He said he like did the numbers in his head on the background. So all you math gurus, you see that in your kids, pour into that, because that's where it's at. Because it's like, why should we be going? He did the math on what it costs for him to go through that. And I think that's the drive that he had. And anybody out there that feel like it's no hope for me, we're about to talk about, because I'm going to shift gears and ask, because I was going to ask, how can you help somebody who's looking for work or displaced from their job, but maybe they have a good credit rating? And he said he can help you. And he just told you he helped himself doing this. So I don't want nobody to look at this and say, oh, yeah, they had support. And it do seem like, and this is just the anointing, but he's telling you he anointed in this, but he can still, he's got a program for any walk of life. Okay. So he have a story. We're going on this internet, we're doing Google searches, and we buying these classes from people. They probably sitting there with, don't know nothing about what they selling. I want you to talk to somebody who, he just gave you his background, okay? And he just told you why he does what he do. And that's what the type of person we as a community of faith, we as people of color, got to stop and say, we got to put this together. We got to go get the knowledge that they're not going to ever want us to have. And so we do not want to retire and not have no business savvy unless somebody told us to go do this work. And so I'm on fire to learn more about, and I was going to say, give me a day in the life of a wealth management financial advisor, but I want to switch that. Okay. I want to actually walk through, for somebody that might be listening, who maybe we just heard a testimony, they've been married 23 years, divorced, walked away from everything. Or maybe you're in a situation where you didn't do your homework on that business deal. Right. Now you got to go do time. They could have killed this man. But by the grace of God, that's what Testimony Friday is about. So now you can't have that excuse to God saying, well, I had a hard knock life, and that's why I won't do anything and I can't do anything. Yeah. Now you may not have that same drive, but he put it in a program. So I want to, for people that may have questions, because your phone probably ring off the hook, and with people just want to pick your brain. Sure. So I can see why your why is, because you've seen so much. Okay. And so a day in the life, I don't want to ask you a day in the life of a wealth manager. That's a corporate. I want to know, if I came to you, so I got my 9-to-5 outfit on, but this is my business, right? I'm going to be 100, since he was transparent. I invested in so much because I didn't do my homework, tax properties. I started my business, didn't know I had to pay no fees, and lost a lot because a lot of us I don't know if it was pride, but I thought, oh, this look easy, I can do it. And that's what we selling people on the internet. Oh, this look easy, I could do that. And you don't ask for help. And it doesn't take anything from you to ask for help. So if I came to you, or if I just got out of prison and said, man, I don't have nothing, or I just got out of this relationship, I lost everything. Okay. What do I do? And I got good credit. Yeah. I don't know how you have good credit after going through that, because there is a process. But he does have a credit program that we're going to talk about before we close out.
Yeah, well, you start with the credit goes bad.
Okay. So if I had good credit, like why could I think that I would start? What would you suggest to me?
I'm gonna give you an example. I had a young lady call me yesterday. She's got a couple of kids. She's not married.
Oh, that's a good example.
She said she's getting ready to spend a bunch of money on a lawyer. Probably $8,000-$9,000. I said, well, I'm gonna tell you one thing that you should do. I said we gotta look at it a different way. You're in low-income housing. I need you to read. Say, as much as you teach people about, for your friends about credit, you have 750 credit score.
She had a 750.
Oh yeah, I got a few of those like that. I've had quite a few like that actually. And I had to explain to her. I said, we need to change your mental. You keep worried about hanging on to this low-income housing.
Gotcha.
And I said, what I'm gonna tell you to do, I have a program. It's $3,500.
Okay.
I said, but you don't have that right now. So I said, do you have $600? She said, yes. I said, well, what I need you to do is PayPal it, Zelle, Cash App, it, come to the office, whatever. And we're going to set you up a structure. and we're gonna get you funding based on your potential income, your projected income, not what you already made. Because when you have a business that's brand new, you don't have financials.
Somebody take notes.
So and
I'm not telling our community you can do anything like that.
No, well, that is what you can do, and that's what you can do, and you can do it for more than one business. But you need to have the credit strength.
That's the piece.
So, and it's about knowing who's going to pull what bureau, who's going to pull all three bureaus, who's going to do a soft pull. So I know that being the top company of influence for most of these banks, and I know that if they decline you, I can get a second or third review depending on how strong you are, and your relationship. So banks are relationship based. So I look at your credit first. I do a free consult, and then I can tell you what we can do for you. If you got no money and bad credit, I tell people we ain't throwing you out with the bad boy. It's simple as this. You got social media, you got family and friends, you got people that need money, you got people that need credit services. I pay for successful referrals. So if you send me a client that borrows $25,000, you make $750. It takes me 4 days.
And so I'm going to throw this one at you, a curveball, which is nothing to you, I can tell. None of my curveballs. But people come in, they, I'll just give you my example. I pay, a lot of people pay for these credit counseling companies that once again, if you don't do your homework and, what makes yours stand out? Can we tell the people? Yeah, the credit piece, because
I tell people
a lot of what you just said.
I tell people no. I tell them no to their money. I tell some people yes and some people no.
Oh, that's interesting. And what do you base that on?
Well, I'm a realist. I know what's I want to know what people really want to tackle their
Gotcha.
Some people say, they got some money. I'm like, look, okay, you got $4,000 in debt. I'm not an advocate for paying collections, because once a collection is actually been sold for the insurance, you really technically don't have to pay that third party because they're not an actual creditor. But if you're trying to buy a home and you're trying to get out, you need to do what's necessary.
Right.
First things first. You didn't pay people in the first place. You messed up. That's okay. Do it at a smaller price for the purpose of getting to where you want to be. So you can buy you perhaps a multi-unit and buy a multi-unit, 2 or 4 unit properties. Let somebody else pay for where you live and keep your paycheck.
So you discern this, or you put them through a series of questions?
No, I look at the credit report.
Oh, you said I
go through it.
But what make you tell them no if they look into?
Because I know some people are just about doing it all wrong all over again.
So, that's a real thing, people. We know that.
And people play the blame game and say, well, I'm not responsible for what you didn't pay.
Yeah.
But people want to make me responsible for, or make others responsible for their 10 years of bad credit.
Okay. So that's the telltale sign, people. Because if some people say, yeah, I'll take you. Yeah. He's saying he do have to tell people no. Yeah. And because it is a mindset. Like the lady with the 750, I want to go back to that. Okay. Because that's my dream credit score. And I don't understand the mentality of what it is. Yeah, you got bad credit score. But I'm just saying there's a mind shift. That's why it's people right now. And I'm getting fired up. I'm getting fired up, people. Keep sharing, because the last part of this hour we're going to dedicate to the actual program. But I just wanted to say that, oh man, I forgot. It's so much going on, man. That devil is a liar. But maybe I do need to shut up and just let you flow, because the thing is, just go ahead. We were talking about the credit piece of it, but the 750. Okay. Oh, that's what it was. And then I'll shut up. So is because there are people right now, and I'm coming hard on these people selling these videos. Do your homework. I'm not putting nobody down, but if they selling you videos about a mindset, would you want to pay for a mindset video, or would you rather pay him to go ahead to make sure you can get the right tax shelter, or that you set yourself up to work on what matters? Don't sit up there and say, I'm going to go it alone, and sit up and say, I'm going to pay all the collectors because I don't want nobody in my business. And then that's not what they care about to get the funding. He's got insider information and he walked it out. So I would just implore everybody to think twice about these gurus, because it is a mindset thing. I listen to all the mindset gurus when they were free, but but it is a shift. But please don't call him coming in here and you not figured out that you need help. If you knew what to do, you would not be in the trouble. So take his testimony as credibility. So let's go into how in the world can somebody with 750, now say she was okay with you helping her. How did we get her? How do we get me? Pretend like I'm her. Yeah. I got 5 kids.
Yeah. So,
did you tell her weight? or
So I told her. So she told me she was going to send me an email so I could send a PayPal request. She never sent the email. I didn't think it was coming. I could tell she was on the fence. And
I'll pretend I did it.
And that's a lot of people. But if you did it, we're going to set you up a structure. And
what structure?
A corporate structure. You need, and that's now one of your tax shelters because you can hide behind it. So I'm gonna give you an example. If you have bad credit and you rent, or you have good credit and you rent,
right?
And so you don't own this property. Well, you can go to your landlord and have them to convert that lease to your business. Don't change how much the pay is. You're just changing who the person paying is. Mm-hmm. So now that becomes corporate housing. It's a write-off. Then your utilities, you turn them over to your business. They become a write-off. Your cell phone becomes a write-off. Your car. Right. So you're making your whole life a tax deduction through your business using your business card or your business credit card. And if you got good credit, you get points of cash rewards for spending, so you're getting free money too. And it's about learning how to really position yourself, and people just don't see it. So, I spend everything I spend probably $500,000-$600,000 a year with American Express, easy, because I want the black card. I want the points. I want to be able to sit in first class or get to fine hotels and book what I want to book and get to the front of the line because of my great credit. Right. So that's what I use. You build your kids the same way, So if they have no credit, you start. But you don't give them a card. You build their credit, and then you teach you put them on the payroll, and now when they graduate high school, they can go buy a multi-unit, and they have a place that they can live in, and the other ones are rentals and their income, and you manage your property or get a management company to manage your property. But now you set your children up for success. You build the business credit, business funding, options open. So that's what I would have done with her, Dang. But she was afraid. She said, well, how am I going to pay it back? I said, well, that's
the main thing.
But I had to make her understand, there are townhomes and co-ops and condos that are $20,000. You can go pay cash for it. I said, so, and put it in the business name. Right. Right. Or, you put it in the trust, there are different trusts that you have. So people don't know this stuff, and there's nothing wrong with you drafting a contract between you and the company you own. Can I pause there? Yeah.
It's nothing wrong. I know, yes, he's talking. I know a lot of people may think, is that right? Can I do that? It's something about us as a people. I'm not, is that we talk that, a certain way. This is really a mindset shift. I'm telling you, I sat in seminars, remember we sat in seminars where these people doing it of another color from another mother. They doing it, and they teaching their color people, their people of their own culture, how to do it. And I would sit there like, wow, they've been doing this tax shelters. I heard it before, and it took me all this time. If I hadn't heard it before, I wouldn't have accepted it probably so freely. But I had heard it before that the rich of the rich and the elite, that's how they living. And it's not stealing. It's not a bad thing. You earning it. Yeah. So it's exciting to hear that you like the black Kawasaki or the black, Tony Robbins and all these people that's coming into town taking much more than he asking for. And they just come in for 3 days so you can just ooh and I what they doing. Here's a person who is not just sweeping into town. He's like, okay. I mean, he just rattled out a plan right there in front of you people. So I don't know what else more you would need to hear. I'm just very grateful that, you're able to advocate. Let's get into the faith community. Like, why do you feel like I know you just talked about people that you had to turn away. You talked about how you got done in. You have to know the Lord to have to do time for something where we didn't read the fine print on the contract or something. Somebody wanted to get greedy. And that's just a part of life. Yeah. But, now that brother that I told you, like you said, if you know the bouts of just coming out of the jail, like how do you stay grounded for these two programs? So I don't know if you want to go into that, but I want to bring the faith component because you're offering your program to everybody. But I want the people in the household of faith to get this because why he talked about, hey, and even my pastors, if y'all losing your property, call me. So I want people that's trying to do ministry but have no savvy whatsoever and relying on somebody to do your finances and you have nothing, you begging people for money on Sunday, talk to him. What made you say that word? That's why I asked you on the show because you were like, I love church. I see a lot of them closing down and people quitting and walking away because they can't take care of their family.
Yeah.
So what made you or?
Well, you know what? Honestly speaking, I'm an out of the box thinker.
Gotcha.
You know, everyone can do a normal deal. You know,
anybody.
You know, if
Wow.
right credit, right finances, everything checks out.
So it's turnkey. It's not a chain.
No. Well, you know, so of the 23 properties I've had, I've only got one that's expensive, but they all have substantial value. So I bought condos for $7,500. I bought a building. I think I told you about the building I bought. I bought it for $10,000. That was the contract price, but it sold a few years prior for $7,665.
Right.
But the taxes were $20,000, so I got paid to buy it. So that's now going to become one of my virtual centers or salon suite places where I can command hourly or weekly pay.
Gotcha.
But you can put
like
a church
that.
there, you know. So the thing is that because it's a
you
3-flat,
do whatever you
want
to do.
So 2 acres. So you know, so you can knock down walls and create your own space and pay no commercial taxes.
Come
and,
on,
you know,
people.
So it's
make it win-win.
Yeah. So you know, I mean, and I'm a firm believer you should own what you operate.
Yeah.
You know, and most people don't. A lot of pastors that have churches don't own church; they rent. They pay $1,500 a month for space for a few hours.
Come on.
But why not buy a house?
Why not?
For $10,000 and then put it in, and then donate to your 501c3 as a humanitarian project, and then go and get the free materials from Home Depot or Lowe's to renovate it, and then find some people that want to write it off by doing the work.
That's what it is.
You know?
Come on.
So, you know, and then you have no taxes on the property, own it outright. You know, so I look for the worst neighborhood. I won't say the worst neighborhood. I look for the average neighborhoods.
Right.
With a lot of, you know, people feel that they still feel safe, but there's a cheap property. Right. You know, I mean, so, and what I learned over these years is that I can create my own value. I don't care if the value is not in the community. I can create my own value, you know, with just a few small things. And even if I didn't have the comps to support it being appraisal, I can build some things. I can build my own buyer and I can sell it in 10 days cash, you know, and somebody can say, this is my house, this is my building, and we can put it in the business name. And then when they're ready, a year or 2 or 6 months later, they can buy a house, still buy a 3 or 4 unit property, FHA, you know, that they can live in. And then 6 months later or a year down the road, they buy the dream home and the building pays for all the things they have, you know, and, you know, you can open a business. You know, when you look at other people with the wealth gaps, they're separated because they own real estate. They buy a property, they take a home equity loan, they refinance the house and get some cash and start a business. You know,
refinancing mess people up.
But you don't own a house. You know, you rent. So you don't have nothing that you can draw from.
Gotcha.
But if you own a house, you can draw from that. And then you can say, okay, well, I need X amount of dollars to start my business. You need a plan going in. So I tell people when you get to my program, yeah, it might cost you $3,000 or $4,000.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Right.
But you know, I'm gonna give you a plan. I'm gonna be on your heels to make sure that you're doing what you said you was gonna do. Because the problem is that nobody's making you accountable. You know.
That's the problem.
Well, for this investment, I'm gonna make you accountable.
Right.
Unless you're just gonna tell me flat out no.
Right.
Well, but that doesn't happen too often. You know, for people that are on fixed incomes that are struggling, they're afraid to lose that $700, $1,000 a month. No, start you a business.
Okay.
And you go buy you a property. You improve that property, and you draw money from that property. That's not income. So they can't tax you on it.
That's pretty good. So we talked about the brother coming out of prison. We talked about a divorcee, lost everything. We talked about the mother with 5, 6 kids. Every scenario. Yeah. We're not talking about somebody with silver spoon, got everything. He working with everybody. What about that retiree that might be listening that worked 40 years on their job and they living off $100 a month and they feel like my back hurt, my knees hurt? I don't want to go back into work first. What would you tell them? Yeah,
but some of them got medication that costs more than they make. You know,
so
you know.
Would you be able to help them?
They got good credit.
Yeah,
absolutely. You know, and if they don't have good credit, they have someone who has good credit, a spouse or a child. You know, but we just show people a plan to make it work for everyone. We have to involve other people. You know, and then how it can be a benefit. You know, so. A lot of people that are on retirement income, you know, 403Bs and, you know, and different pensions, and they're worried about, am I going to lose this? I'm like, so I had to explain to a client yesterday, I said, okay, you make $700 a month. It's $8,400 a year. I'm showing you how to buy a property, do a business, you know, how to get the money, how to get the down payment, how to buy a piece of property, renovate it, refinance it, get you some tax-free money. You know, do that 2-3 times a year. Put it into an annuity.
2-3 times, okay.
No, seriously. Put it into an annuity, to an IRA. You know, an investment will give you compound interest. You know, so now you're making, if you put $120,000, you know you can drop 10% per year.
Yeah, because people lost putting in that 401k. I said, what?
But if they did that 3 times and made $40,000, they're making more than they're making just on the interest.
That's your way out. Okay.
But and so what? You might lose that, whatever. But if you make $1,000 a month, times 3 properties, you make $3,000 a month. Plus that $1,200, you're making $4,200 a month.
You got to know math. You got to know the numbers.
So
and that's a good point. So what? Let's also tweet that. Yeah. So what if you lose here and there? Yeah, you got the big picture planned out. So what are those pitfalls? Not doing a property analysis or what are the pitfalls?
You don't even have to do that, honestly. Wow. So I'm gonna give you another example. I tell people, I have a booth inside the swap up the street.
Okay, swap around my we in Alpha.
Yeah, they cost me $340.
Nice. A week?
A month.
Gotcha.
So nice. I can be there from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. I said, if you bought 8 cases of water from Sam's Club, and it's 40 in that case for $4.
Dang.
$3.58. And you sold
People
it for $2.
Don't think that way. That's
you
true.
made $80 times 8 cases. They're gonna sell, even if you just did it in a weekend, that's $640 a week, and that's Saturday and Sunday.
Hustler for real.
Yeah, times 52 weeks, you make $31,000, $32,000 a year on Saturday and Sunday. So you still have the rest of your week. That's all cash,
right?
And that's a business. You got people working 40 hours a week. I'm talking about Saturday and Sunday. Why am I gonna give you 40 hours? It's all cash. I can leave when I want.
Right.
I can come when I want. I can sell other things in there.
Yeah.
I can sell cookies and candy. The people that sell airheads and lifesavers. The airheads are $1.
That's not funny. That's true. They do. And you bet people.
And it's hot, they're hungry. People like immediate gratification.
Right.
So that's your business.
You got your gas money right there. I'm putting these kids. They 4 and 6. They going to work. No, I'm just kidding.
But you got people that sell broken down lawn equipment that make $300 a day in there, $400 a day in there.
Oh.
So why would I? People that go to consignment shops and resell clothes in there.
Right.
So people they feel funny about it, and I'm like, why are you frowning about this? You're making money.
You know why? Because y'all thinking because you have that suit on, we about always judging a book by its cover. You have to not be too high. What is it? Big for your bridges, as my grandfather used to say. And you can dress nice and like nice things, but his mindset is, I'm going to do what I have to do.
Absolutely.
And we have to stop being so prideful about, I would not be associated with that, or you may think, oh, he never had to do nothing like that. He just gave you like really quickly. If it come to that, I'll do that too. So I think that's a good, if you want to know what sets people apart, just having that go-getting mentality, that's a good nugget to take away. So what if I do make a mistake, or so what if I got to go run and do this right quick? Even like he told you the story about being in prison, he calculated how much it take for him to have that bed in there, and it was like, okay, it was a done deal. I'll never do this again. I'll never. And so if you just turn that into, make your misery your ministry like he's done, and not try to hoard information, God can really make you a channel. So thank you for. We got a few more minutes. It's with these last few minutes to 8 o'clock. Can you just go and flow? Because I see you're not a person that I got to pull things out of. You need to flow. So for these people, let's say you 60 calls and people asking you 100 questions. Let's talk about the 2 programs, people, that he has out right now. Okay, on every radio station. He's got, what are the names? Can you break down? We want to give something for the homeowners, those that are tired of renting, or maybe think that it can't. If you can rent, you can buy. I used to be a real estate agent. Okay, I got tired of paying the fees, but I love real estate. And we want to have some. We want to talk about your program. What's in those 26 weeks or 12 weeks for both the one that want to buy commercial property to make sure that they have a nest egg for their family, or if they get fired, or if they don't want to work anymore for somebody else. Let's start with that. We talked about business a lot. Yeah. So let's start with the homeowners for those people that's interested.
So the Home Buyers Plus program, I always got to put it out there. It's $3,500. A lot of my programs are that way and they go up. But basically, I'm showing someone with a 640 or 660 or 680 credit score how they can build a house from the ground up in 45 to 90 days.
Oh, it's accelerated.
Yeah. So it's for a home. You can build a multi-unit. You can build multiple homes. You can build a church. You can build a commercial space. And space.
Okay. So it's not just
No, so basically, instead of a
for you to live in.
No, investments or living or both. You
Good.
know? So you can do, and it's just about getting the permits. So and right now you're in a market where there's a bidding war. Everyone is, trying to go for the highest bidder. Now, granted, it's scaling back because the rates are going up, but I don't want to play people's game. And I got a big heart, but I'm kind of no nonsense when it comes to business.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
So there's a lot I could buy in Chicago for $500 or $1,000. I could build a 3-bedroom, three bedroom, 3-bath, or 4-bedroom, 3-bath house, from the ground, and put a 2.5 car garage in the back in 45 to 90 days. Just got to pull my permits, and it'll probably cost me $100,000 or less.
Right.
So if you got good credit, I'm gonna go get the cash for you in 3-4 days. We're not gonna waste any time.
Hold on, 3 to 4 days, people. Yeah. Okay, if you work with a mortgage agent right now trying to go get financing, they're gonna tell you, and if you better have that number, they won't even talk to you. He gonna help you get to the number, the credit score is what I mean by number. Mm-hmm. He can help you with that on that end. But that investment you making it over and over, because you're going to need an investment to put a down payment. Why save the investment? And now you telling me I can't buy the house. I didn't make something. Maybe I didn't know the taxes was out of my range. So what is part of that program? What do they get in the? So
basically, I'm getting them cash.
Okay. So, in the 26 weeks, how do you work with that person?
Well, I look at the credit first.
Oh, okay.
With everybody, I need to see your credit, because that tells me how realistic or how fast I can make things happen.
Gotcha.
I tell people to bring their family, because you need to get your family educated. A lot of people don't. The breakdown is that it just stops with you sometimes, or the dad or the mom or the breadwinner or whatever. My dad provided, my mom provided. Okay, fine, but did they teach you how to be? So the difference for me was I saw my mom renovate properties. I saw properties that were crap. I saw that property had no floors.
Once you see it, you can't go back.
So I said, she bought that property for $17,000, put 30 in, and it's worth 149. So those numbers sound good to me, So I said, okay, well, that's how you could appreciate,
right?
It changed me from the hustling mentality the wrong way to the right way.
Gotcha.
Because if I could make $100,000, because I put a few dollars in the property because I got good credit, or because the bank will give me the money because I meet their criteria, I'm gonna do that all day long. And I'm gonna do 1, 2, or 3 of those a year, and I'm gonna learn how to get my tax-free money. Or if I flip a property, I'm gonna learn to put it into a tax-deferred mechanism. So that's what I'm teaching people. Retirees that and people that are getting ready to retire, or those who have no job or don't have enough money but got okay credit. I'm like, look, you have to get past your fears, because I'm gonna put you in a panic state. I'm really gonna do it,
Is that the key to its success?
Yeah. Well, what? People move when they have to. If your child was in jail, or if your child was sick in the hospital, you're gonna move heaven and earth to get those needs.
Now I see.
So why not do it for your future?
Gotcha. Put the urgency on there. Yeah. Well, with 1 minute at a time, he's got the 26-week program, the 12-week program, but this is not how long to take. He just told you the funding can happen in days. But why I like to say how long is because it sounds like you journeying with people.
Oh, yeah. I'm getting to think of it.
So as we close out with this 1 minute, how do the people find you for both programs?
So, I'm on 102.3 every day. I'm at 106.3. They can call me, at 812-244-3609.
Website.
My website is BrandonMrFinance.com. Find me on Facebook, Brandon Mr. Finance, or PlanForMoneyInHand.com. I try to be pretty accessible. But that's how they would reach me. Call me or text me. I'm pretty responsive. I ask people to give me 24 to 48 hours because I get a lot of calls. But I'm going to respond. But ultimately, it's just about people wanting to have more, and if they really want it, I'm gonna help you go get it if you're serious about it.
So I want to also ask that if you need him at your churches or at your networking events, I am evangelizing this message because I think it's so much what he said in this hour. And I think that people need to know where there's a will, there's a way. Like if you are willing, he gave you every scenario. And our people and our culture needs more minds like this. So reach out, and my testimony is he do call you right back. No matter what radio station, he will call you and give you that personal touch. Because I definitely called, because we all need to have a plan A and B. Don't think, oh, I'm good. I got everything I need. What they trying to sell me. Don't be so quick to write your brother, your sister off, because you don't know when your day or what they're doing out here. And the body of Christ needs to be, God want us to get this information, but we so busy, and I don't want to say, a lot of people, sometimes have that crab in the barrel, that he told you like it is. If it don't work for you, he's not twisting your arm, and he might tell you no. So all that he's doing is for a reason. So we just want to say thank you for coming.
I appreciate it.
So yeah, I just want to just go ahead and to pray us out and say we just thank you for this mighty man of God. I pray that you pour back into him everything he's poured out. I pray everybody that you have connected with him that need to do the partnerships or maybe just go through the program, that you would give them what they need to remove the fears, because he can't teach you that part. We asking that, Lord God, remove the shackles off of people's minds and the mindset, even though they well-meaning, they just don't trust anybody because maybe they've been, mistreated like he did. And he had to literally do time, God, but you had to do that for him to want to deal with people after that. You had to help him. So what the same God that helped him, help him help people through you, Lord Jesus. And don't let people like him and himself to give up. Let them fight the good fight of faith for our community, that he's sharing this information. So let everybody you ordain that he's part of their testimony, because they need knowledge and power to be able to move in the ministry ideas you've given people to help more people. We can't play small. We can't just do everything on an island. Help more people. Link up, power of 10, 20, 30, 40, and just come through and just allow people to get their properties back, buy new properties, and for your glory. And we thank you for this evening. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you for coming tonight. We thank you all for liking and share. Listen to it over and over, because I know he was like renegade with that information. Listen about 10 more times, then give him a call. Okay, thank you so much for coming. Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Views made on the preceding program are not those of WVTC Radio, iNetworks Communications, or their financial supporters.